If I'm being honest, if I could go back and tell this girl anything, it would definitely be I am currently getting ready for my very first day ever of Orange Theory Fitness. I have no idea what to expect. I have no idea what's going to happen. Hey you guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to talk about something a little different. I've been investing time and money, a lot of money,
let's not lie,
into Orange Theory Fitness. And today being the completion of my first month, I wanted to sit down and share the top 10 things Orange Theory has taught me outside of the gym. And of course, I'll be showing weight loss and progress photos along the way, as most review videos do, and a lot of people watch these videos purely for that. Before we jump into the chat today, make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel and give this video a huge thumbs up. I do want to say, for all transparency purposes, this video is in no way, shape, or form affiliated with Orange Theory Fitness. They did not ask me to make this video, nor do they even know, once again, that I am in their plaza. I am just sitting here freely sharing the top 10 things that I learned from completing 1 month of going to their gym. So now that that is out of the way, here are the things that I have learned from a person who 4 weeks ago had never used a rower, knew nothing about technique when it came to lifting weights, and wasn't, and still isn't, the best runner on or off the treadmill. Number 1, a workout plan is not the same as a weight loss plan. Me naively signing up 4 weeks ago assumed that Orange Theory Fitness would be something similar to like a fad diet. It took me longer than I care to admit to realize that if you are running, lifting weights, and I was doing this at the beginning 5 days a week, I've now scaled back to 3, but if you're putting your body through these high intensity cardio workouts that do also include lifting, and you expect your body to just cut the weight, I'll be the first one here to tell you that is not the case, and I did learn this the hard way. I would weigh in every 2 to 3 days, and the first 2 weeks, that scale did not budge. I thought something was wrong with me. Oh my gosh, I should see someone. What's going on? Nope, it was just the simple fact that Orange Theory Fitness does not try to be a weight loss program. It is a workout program. A lot of people in the gym, especially people I work out with, they are actually there to gain weight. They are lifting heavy. They are trying to put on muscle. I'm over here, and we'll talk about this later on in this video, I'm over here running on the treadmill, lifting 5 and 8 pound weights, thinking, oh my gosh, this is just like keto. I'm gonna drop all this weight. Not at all. Number 2 of what I learned outside the gym, and I did write this down. You cannot expect to reach your health and fitness goals by simply putting in 1 hour a day. There are still 23 hours to account for. My first week, yes, I did try to cut back and not snack as much, but I wasn't really looking at the food I was consuming, the portions I was consuming. This came in more during like weeks 2, 3, and 4, and that's when the scale moved. But I simply thought, oh, I put in my hour a day. I'm done. Time to go back to living the life, that I normally was living. And it just doesn't work like that. To my knowledge, there really is no workout program that you just put in 1 hour of work a day and then you can just do whatever you want the other 23 hours. Give me a thumbs up if you relate to number 3, and it is that the hardest part of working out is just showing up.
just showing up.
I kid you not. Yes, I'm not the best runner. Yes, I'm the person the coach in the Orange Theory class frequently visits the most to be like, hey, let's look at your shoulders. Let's look at the way you hinge at your knees and your hips. And they've been teaching me ways to lift safely that doesn't really cause wear and tear on my joints. But the hardest part, harder than the running, harder than rowing, is just getting up and getting there. Once I'm in the lobby and I'm putting my band on, I'm waiting to go in, I literally think, nailed it. Like, I'm here. Already winning. I'm here. This was the hardest part, and it's done. And again, let me know if that's the hardest part for you, because it definitely is for me. Before we jump to number 4, I want to take a quick moment and thank the sponsor of today's video, which is Skillshare. Honestly, I have been using this platform for the last 2 years to continue learning in quarantine. Things like graphic design, how to bookkeep as a business owner, and even if the real estate market ever calms down, another topic for a different day, I've been taking classes on interior design. Seriously, Skillshare and Netflix are how I made it through the dark ages that were 24/7 quarantine. But give Skillshare a try. Click the link in my description box and you'll unlock a free month of Skillshare Premium. And if you already belong to the platform, let me know what classes you have found to be the most helpful down below in the comments. I am always looking for things. I'm always trying to continue learning, again, outside of Orange Theory Fitness. Now, on to number 4. At the risk of sounding like an after-school special, number 4 is the simple fact that a good workout starts the night before. If I'm being honest, yesterday afternoon looked a little something like this. This activity led to staying up later, not getting as much sleep, and I thought, not a problem at all, until my workout was more difficult today. Today is like day 31. It was more difficult today than it was weeks prior, and it was because I didn't get an ample amount of sleep. I did go out drinking. Now, I'm not saying don't go do those things. If you know me in real life, you know I love a good happy hour. I love a good old-fashioned, and I would not give those up. But if I know a workout's coming, it is in my best interest to get my water in, get as much sleep as I can. At the end of the day, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, Orange Theory is not cheap. And because of that, I want to show up as my best self. People always ask me, why do you pay so much money to be here? Can't you do that at home? Well, the reason I pay to go to Orange Theory is the community, the coaching, and the fact that they put together my workouts. Now, they get paid whether or not I show up at 100% or 10%. Kind of like how your college professors get paid whether you pass or fail their class. So it is in my best interest, both for my health and my finances, to show up in my best state. That is my after school special, and I'm gonna stick with it. Number 5 took me a little while to accept, and it is that weight loss starts in your kitchen. And you guys, as much as I don't want to accept this statement, it is true. You've heard me mention here that weight loss did not come to me immediately. Let's just show the scale now, since it kind of fits number 5. The very first day I started Orange Theory Fitness, I weighed 165 pounds, and my body looked like this. The first 2 to 3 weeks, I did not change my diet. I would get really frustrated when the scale didn't move. And like I mentioned before, it really took a toll on my mental health. It was then in weeks 3 and 4 that I started implementing a meal plan. I was making sure I was getting in the right amount of protein. I was getting enough water. I was getting enough sleep, although that is not done in the kitchen, obviously. And one other thing I made sure I did, and it's not coming to me right now. Oh, and the other thing is I made sure that I was intermittent fasting. You can look that up if you don't know what it means, but essentially I would eat my dinner and be done before 7 p.m. And that would be it. I would have water, maybe some tea or something. And I would say about 2 weeks into doing this, and I did it a lot. I didn't go out other than that happy hour you saw from yesterday. That was my first outing. I didn't go out. I made all my meals from home, meal prepping, logging my food to make sure I was getting in my macros. That's a topic I am not educated enough to talk about in this video. I went from 165, that photo you just saw, to yesterday weighing in at 160.8. So I lost 4.2 pounds. Now I know when I say pounds, I probably put on some muscle, so realistically I may have taken off more fat, but I'm not an expert in that. If you are naive like me and you think going into Orange Theory is going to solve your problems and you can eat the same way you are and expect that scale to go down, it may work for some people that have more weight to lose off their body, but my goal is to go from 165 to 150. That's not a huge amount of weight. It's 15 pounds. So I've broken it into 5-pound increments. So in essence, I have just hit milestone number 1. And it honest to goodness came when I shifted my mindset and accepted that weight loss comes from the kitchen and not the rower. Number 6 is honestly what kept me going during the rough weeks, and that is to focus on more of your non-scale victories. Like I mentioned, scale didn't move for the first few weeks and I would get frustrated. So right when I thought about quitting, because this whole first month I was on a discounted plan. I wasn't paying as much as I pay now that I'm not on that plan, but focusing on those non-scale victories. What is a non-scale victory, you ask? clothes fitting differently, being able to maybe run a little bit longer in class, lift a little bit heavier in class. Yes, it took me 4 times to get that out correctly. Just going to class a certain number of times a week. These are non-scale victories that help me stay focused, that help me stay motivated when that scale wasn't moving and I felt like an absolute failure. I did also have a non-scale victory goal of not looking at the scale for 10 days. One of my friends was talking to me and he just said, Kristen, do yourself a favor. You are working so hard, you're putting in the time, but you are learning. Take time away from the thing that's discouraging you. That scale is still gonna be there. And he was right. So if you are just getting started, focus on your non-scale victories. I had one 2 days ago, actually. I went to Target. I wanted to get a pair of high-waisted vintage mom jeans because that's where I am in life. High rise is a way of life. And I went to Target, pulled my normal size 10s and headed to the dressing room. And once I get there, the attendant looks at me and this attendant is like young, maybe college age. And she's very blunt. She goes, ma'am, I don't mean to sound disrespectful, but that's not gonna fit you. She didn't even see the number. She just looked at me holding these jeans. And I looked at her and I was trying to be nice, but I also wanted to get out of there. So I was like, oh no, I normally always wear 10s. And she goes, hold on a second. And she had me stand outside of my assigned dressing room. She pulled me another pair, didn't even show me the size. She just goes, try these on. And I put them on, buttoned them up, had a bit of space. They fit very nicely. They were a size 6. And I looked at her like she had just done some witchcraft. And you know what, looking back, girl whose name I don't know that I thought was crazy, thank you. But that was my non-scale victory. I could look at these pair of jeans that I never would have thought would have fit me because my scale didn't move. But I wasn't thinking to the point, oh, my scale didn't move, but my body could still be changing. I'm sure I will learn more about this as I continue my journey with Orange Theory, and I will give a review of them at the end of this video. But let's move on to number 7. I wrote, protein will not give you a manly physique. I think I went through a phase during these last 4 weeks of thinking that everything was going to give me a manly physique. The coach would ask me to lift heavier weights and I would say, no, I don't want a manly physique. They would say, oh, hey, you know what? Let's push a little bit harder on the rower. Nope, don't want that manly physique. And then when we finally started chatting about nutrition. Now, just to preface this, and I want to make sure I get this out. In my experience, Orange Theory fitness coaches or the corporation has never given information or recommendations about diet. But my coach on the way out would always say something like, do something good for yourself, stretch, drink water, and give your body protein. And that was it. He said it to everybody, so it wasn't like just me. And I would think, oh no, I do not need that much more protein. But I have come to learn that that is a mistake. If you are working out to this extent, your body does need more protein. Number 8's kind of a touchy subject, but I wrote, the scale only tells part of the story. And in my experience, at least so far, that is so true. I remember just waking up and in the first 5 minutes of the day, just me using the bathroom and getting on the scale, that would depict how my day was going. I would either see a number I loved and have a great day, or I would see a number I hated and start my day off with criticism. How could you do this? What did you eat? What did you do? What's going on? So when I did take that 10-day break from the scale, I was talking to some of the people I go to Orange Theory with, and they were talking about this transformation challenge. Now, I have not done it, again, brand spanking new, but they were telling me how they use these special scales that tell you more than just the weight that you are. They look at your muscle mass, the percentage of your weight that comes from fat, your water intake. Now, this is something I don't know enough about to share in this video, but come to doing a little bit of research, I can conclude that they were right. The scale, while it does give you a piece of data, does not tell the entire story. Is your water up? As a lady, are you having your time of the month? Did you just eat a big meal? The scale is only going to tell you a fraction of what's going on in your body. So do not make the mistake like I did and let that number depict your attitude and your opinion of yourself. It's just not healthy. Number 9. It's okay to be bad at something, especially if it's new. If you haven't skipped through this video, you'll have heard me mention that before joining Orange Theory, I had never used a rower, never really knew how to lift, and wasn't a good runner. I can guarantee you, while there have been improvements, I am still nowhere near like good at these things. Do I know the technique of using a rower, getting, the routine, the breathing, pushing on your legs? I've got that part down. Does that mean I'm the fastest? Oh no. I also do not lift the heaviest. There are also times that I can't match the reps the coaches ask us to do. For example, we were doing some heavy weightlifting today and they asked us to do 12 reps. I could only do 10 and I had to move on to something else. And that's okay. If you remember previously in this video, I stated,
just showing up.
So yes, it is okay to be bad at something, especially if it's new. And I know this video is focusing on things I learned outside of the gym, but while you're in there, ask the coaches questions. I did so much in my first week there. I was asking, am I doing things correctly? Are we lifting here? Are we lifting here? Everything, anything I could ask. And my mentality was, I'm paying for this time. Why not learn while I'm there? And number 10, we have made it. The process of getting your health and fitness back on track has no conclusion. I think I subconsciously thought of health and fitness like paying off a debt. I recently just paid off this car, but now I've paid it off. It's done. I don't have to save up money and make a car payment anymore. I think I was approaching health and fitness with that same mindset. Once I hit this goal, I can go back to the way I was living before. It's fine. I hit it. Did it, nailed it, done. And it doesn't work like that. I am sure when I hit my weight goal, there will be something else I want to try. Whether it be a 5K, a 10K, no, we're just going to stop at 5K. Whether it be a 5K, whether it be, something physical that I couldn't do before, there's going to be something. It's not an end destination. When you reach it, you are done. If it was, I feel like there would be a lot less people in the health and fitness community. But you guys, that is it. Those are the top 10 things Orange Theory taught me outside of the gym. If you guys have any other questions about Orange Theory, my experience, let me know down below. After doing this for 1 month, I can honestly say there were good days, there were bad days, but I never left upset that I completed a workout. Ever. Not one time. Like I mentioned, I wasn't the best at it. There were times that I came in dead last in certain activities we did, but just showing up for me was enough. That was honestly my motto the entire first month. Just show up. I would even write it on Post-its and leave it in my work office sometimes. So month 1 done. Would I recommend it to other people? Absolutely. Do I think it's worth the investment? Actually, yes. I think the fact that you have to pay so much for it means that you respect it more. I talked to some people that would go to other gyms, and I will not mention this video, that were like $10 a month. And I would say, oh, how often do you go? And they would say,
never. I haven't been in 6 months.
And to me, I would be more upset about losing $10 than investing in the money I pay now. I do have unlimited, if I didn't mention that before, but having that expense come out of my bank account or be charged to my credit card every single month motivates me to go. I don't know why that is, but it works for me and I'm not going to question it. Just to be completely transparent, let's just share. The premium where I live is $160 a month. I factor that in with a cost per use formula. So if it's $160 a month, that's $40 a week. And if I go 4 times a week, that is $10. $10 to be coached, have my workouts figured out for me, have the equipment there and cleaned ready for me, and done. So far it has worked well, and I do recommend it for somebody who maybe doesn't have the expertise, knowledge, or experience in things like how to lift, how to use the rower, pushing yourself on a treadmill. Those were things I was lacking, so Orange Theory fits my needs very well. But if you're somebody who can motivate yourself and doesn't really care about community, maybe not so much. But I can tell you, after 2 years in quarantine, it's nice. And now that I work from home, even better. Anyway, that is it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!